That's right. The cast of the biggest musical movie of the season is here. It's incredible. Let's not waste any more time before bringing them out. They are all ridiculously talented and ridiculously good in this movie. I'm not kidding. The level of talent is stupid. Even if you know how good they usually are, just wait. It gets better. It's insane. Their new movie is called Wicked. It's in theaters November 22nd. Give it up for Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan, Bailey, and Jeff Goldblum! Imagine how you're gonna feel when you actually see the damn thing. I'm just saying. Like, it's crazy. You think that's amazing. It's incredible. I'm so happy, y'all. I'm just now meeting you, Jonathan, but thank you for coming back, y'all. I love having you on the show.
Thanks for having us.
And I have to start with you, Ariana, because we were doing The Voice.
Yes.
And I remember you were, first of all, I thought, man, she sings everywhere. She was singing everywhere, backstage, and a lot in like your kind of opera kind of style. And I was like, I don't know, and you were auditioning. You were and then I was with you on the plane when you got it.
Yes,
I feel like I'm a part of the team.
No, you
I am so happy for you. So you've loved this since you were like 10, right?
Yes, I have. But do you remember when we were shooting and there was one day on set at The Voice when it was really hot? And it's usually very cold in that soundstage.
Yeah.
And Blake was like, why is it so hot in here today? And I fully had to own up to it. I was like, I'm so sorry, you guys. I requested that the air conditioning be a little bit less frigid today because I have to sing opera tomorrow. And Kelly was like, wait, for what?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm auditioning for Wicked. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
So that was
crazy. Thank you. It's always freezing in that studio.
Yes,
like I literally planned outfits around how cold it is. They installed heaters in the seats because they're trying to kill us. Like, it's so cold. So I love that it was warm.
Oh, okay, well, good. Yeah. I felt really bad.
But I just thought, she's a little angel. She sings everywhere. Like, I didn't know before that, and you were singing all this, like, and I was like, hey, do you just sound like in the shower, like Snow White just coming out? It's so beautiful. Your voice, your register is so beautiful. And I'm gonna slow down, but I can't because look, as a female singer, I'm gonna get to y'all, but like, holy you guys are incredible! Like, incredible! Like, I'm gonna be real, it's like you were both born at this certain time to intersect at this time and make this. There's no one that could have done these roles like you. It's incredible. And honestly, Kristen and Idina like started this whole thing, right? So it's hard to think that it could happen again. But you too, your unison blend, shut up. It's so good. Oh my God.
Every time she opens her mouth, every time she opens her mouth in this film, you're all gonna pee.
So, please don't. It's insane what you're doing in this movie. I love y'all too. I do. I just had to have a female musical moment just then. I think all of us actually have musical theater backgrounds. Like we loved like theater growing up. What was like your first experience?
I think my very first experience, well, doing it, I was 11 and there was a very weird play called the Caucasian Chalk Circle and someone turned it into a musical. It shouldn't have been turned into a musical.
Like when people die, like a chalk...
Correct.
Okay.
Long story. I was 11. It was not a good idea. And actually, I took myself to see Wicked on my own. I took myself on a birthday date when I was 25. It was the first time I'd seen it, but I knew the music before.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I'd seen it. And I was like, oh, that feels familiar. That feels good.
Oh, it felt
feels
powerful.
right.
I remember the first time I saw it as well. It just felt so good. And wow, what a tall order. And y'all delivered in spades. It's so good. But I'm talking to y'all now. So what about your musical theater background? Because, sir, you got moves like Jagger. I mean, I was like,
It is so insane.
look, I've been in love with you since Bridgerton, and then all of a sudden I was like, this dude dances too? I was like, you're so incredibly gifted.
Well, that was genuine. No, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Chris Scott, the choreographer, and John Chu, the director, has worked together for years, and so he sort of whipped me into shape. But I started dancing very, very young.
I was gonna say, there has to be background.
I did do about 5 years of ballet. I was playing. Thank you.
That's amazing.
I was doing sport in the local village fields, and I just saw only girls through the window doing ballet, and I was like, I just want to be in there. And so it was the purest form of expression that I think little Johnny loved, and to come back to that. And I hope young boys and parents of young boys let them go and dance, because...
My son is 8. He loves to dance, and he just loves costumes. He loves all of it. And so he was so floored by you. Like, it was, it's gonna work with the boys. But I have to say, too, you're not magical. Oh, what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, I realized recently, you're like a combination of Gene Kelly.
I was going to say the same thing.
Gene Kelly and Rudolph Valentino.
Yes.
Really? You were thinking that? Rudolph Valentino and...
Well, Gene Kelly, I used to have a crush on Gene Kelly.
Yes.
I did. But when I remember when I saw you dance for the first time I was like, oh, I see it. It's just that there's something so...
Innate.
Yeah, it's like
wow, I'm not
suave.
sure
There's
about
like a
I thought you were
real
gonna,
ease with it.
I thought you were going to say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No.
Like, he could guide
Rudolph
my sleigh.
Valentino, you don't know who that is, but equally romantic on screen. And listen to this. And look at his face. Montgomery Clift.
I don't know who that is.
In this movie,
couple people
acting which is nuanced and deep and organic and naturalistic.
Blimey.
No,
Well,
it
thank
was
you.
beauty. You're very charming. You're very funny and witty. You're very talented. Got all the gifts. Fine. No, I do want to ask you, Jeff. Though you, you did such a great job as the Wiz. Like you were so charming in everything you do. Everybody falls in love with you. But I thought it was interesting to find out because you don't have magic. But you're actually a fan in real life of magic.
Oh, you're asking me to do this? This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
Watch me bring
This
it
is so
out.
embarrassing. Look at this knot. I'm gonna make it tight. But what happened to that knot?
Whoa.
It's got. What did you
Happened to that
do?
knot? Wait.
Guys, it's gone.
Guys, it's gone.
Oh, God.
Here's another knot. Look at this. Wait a minute. One more. Now here, if you're...
Now, why did they not let you put this in the film?
Watch. This is the...
Every day
now
on
watch.
set.
Here we go. Ready? And... Okay.
I'm actually a child. I'm actually.
That's so embarrassing. I tried to sneak it in the movie and they cut it out.
You did.
I tried to sneak it in the
No,
movie.
this is a question. You tried to sneak it in because in every film you've been in.
That's true. I'm pathetic.
Now, here's my
disappointed.
question though. Like, it's green. Did they not feel like it fit in? I don't understand how you couldn't get this in this specific film.
Hey, they saved my life. The editing, Myron Kirstein and John M. Chu, the great director, made a beautiful movie, and they have these actors of all time. But they helped me. I'll tell you. I saw not the final cut and then the final cut. They helped me. They cut that out, thank goodness, and they just kept my.
So many more magic bits in.
Technically, it's still there. You still do the coin trick, and actually, I shouldn't
do the
really
coin
be
trick,
saying
yes.
this, but if you look close enough during the scene that we're in, if you look in my hand, I'm holding that string.
You're holding the rope?
I'm holding
in the
the rope
movie?
in the movie.
I didn't have to see it again. Oh, that's
Look very closely. I have it in my hand.
because I give it to you. That's
Yeah.
right.
I am not giving it back. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That's your special thing. All right, we need to do some quick commercials. Elle and Sophia in our audience can help us out.
Hi, Kelly. We've been best friends since we were kids. We're both from St. Louis, and we grew up singing the music from Wicked.
Now we're roommates, kind of like Glinda and Elphaba. We live here in New York, and our stop is on 50th and 8th, right by the Gershwin Theater, so we get to see the sign for Wicked every day. And we're so excited to see the movie.
More with Kelly and the cast of Wicked when we come back.
Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, and Jeff Goldblum. Together they star in the new movie Wicked. It's in theaters starting this Friday. So for those living under a rock, explain sort of the plot for everyone.
The first part that you're seeing is the beginning when the Wicked Witch of the West, who isn't the Wicked Witch of the West yet, meets Glinda the Good. They're at school, and it's the origin story of how she becomes that, and it runs concurrently with the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy is not there yet.
Yeah.
So it's this, I guess, this love story between the two women who become friends and have to make some very hard choices about which direction they're going to move in.
Yeah. Yes. I didn't know about it for the musical first. I heard about it from the book. Gregory Maguire, he writes, because I love Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister. He has other ones that I got into years ago, and I just think it's such a clever take on it. Like
sort of spun the Oz lore on its head. Yeah.
And also, just metaphorically speaking, it's a really great message for everyone to hear, that you think you know maybe what's happening, but you really don't know the full story, or you don't know somebody else's vantage point. You're not in their shoes.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful metaphor as well. Well, Kristen Chenoweth was just here, actually, and she played Glinda on Broadway for those other people living under a rock. She is so proud of you. Like, off camera. Like, on camera, she glowed, but even off camera, she was so excited for you. Did she give you any advice?
I mean, she was very supportive of me the whole time. I mean, Kristen and Idina have both been very supportive of the two of us. They've just been so loving, and every step of the way have embraced us. And we didn't really talk that much about what my Glinda was going to be. She was just very encouraging of me to kind of take risks and make it my own and you know, play. Yeah. And I think the same with Idina, right?
Yeah, Idina, when we first had a conversation about what was happening, the one thing she wanted me to do was have fun. She was like, just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Just be present and tell the truth and have fun. And that's it.
Girl, when you're on that broom, I stood up. I stood up, and I was like, oh my God. It did the moment just, it's so good. It's so good. I don't want to ruin anything. I'm going to if I keep talking. You actually saw the original production, right?
I loved it, yeah.
I saw the original production as well.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Crazy
And it must have been early on. I didn't know anything about it. What is this? I've always loved The Wizard of Oz. And then I went, oh, this is about The Wizard of Oz. Oh, no, no. I was already mushy. Oh, boy. There's something about it. Stephen Schwartz's music. And that story, it just gets you deeply. I don't know what it is. And, you know, this is the best variation I can possibly imagine. But it got me. Oh, yeah, as soon as I did it. I was wailing my eyes out at the end of it,
There's something about being in New York as well, going back to, obviously, the Gershwin Theatre where it started. And if it wasn't for that original cast, we wouldn't be here today, because their performances were... they inspired all of us, but they were game-changing. So to bring it back to New York now and to be here on our first day celebrating it is really exciting and special.
Also, too, like having kids, like I'm really into my kids reading so much, and so when they find out it was originally a book, like one of my kids wants to be an author because they didn't realize how much, oh God, it starts from a story that someone writes, and then it goes on to this, and then it moves on to the, and it's kind of nice for them to see that and get kids excited about reading as well. That's a parent thing. I'm a mom. But as a teen, you started listening to the soundtrack, right?
I did, yeah. I heard the soundtrack. It was sort of, there was a lore that sort of permeated across the Atlantic Ocean.
That's right, yeah.
And it was the Tony Award performance of Idina and Kristen that I sort of downloaded in about 2 pixels. And I studied, but I remember hearing the soundtrack and Stephen Schwartz. There was something about the orchestration, the syncopation. There was like a pop element mixed with a really luscious orchestral sound. And I was just like, what the hell? It was like crack.
Yeah. You just
That's
want
it.
it more.
You said that. You did. You said it.
Except we
It
don't
was.
support you doing that.
Yeah.
But yes, yes.
Yeah. It's
Right,
true, yeah.
No.
But there's other things you can do.
No, it's like you want to.
You say there's other things you can do.
I mean, you know, like drink water.
It
drink
keeps
water and
getting
sleep.
better. You haven't had enough sleep. That's
I'm gonna
amazing.
get, yeah, exactly. It's still
no,
Mexico time.
No, you are right though. It is that fix, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't know if my kids were gonna have that kind of like I was so enamored as a child, and then,
She never leaves
and
you
then I
hanging
gave
out.
them
She'll-
crack, and then it's.
How many times can we say the word crack?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's all kinds. So, okay, here we go. So, is it true that you actually called Lorne Michaels to get Bowen Yang?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And isn't he the best?
We were really rambunctious on this thing. We really demanded for people to be here, didn't
Yeah,
we?
we needed Bowen Yang and we needed Michelle
We needed
Yeoh.
Michelle Yeoh.
And
We
needed these two
sent a video for
desperately.
her.
She does an incredible job.
Involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
The
mean,
cast is incredible.
how funny are Bowen and Bronwyn as well? We
Oh
just have
my
to mention Bowen and
God.
Bronwyn.
And here's something that I was wondering. Like, it seemed like y'all were kind of improvising sometimes, like just throwing like off the cuff. Is that true?
Yes, I mean, that's the thing about working with John M. Chu, our brilliant director, is that he was just so down to play. We would do a take that was very what's written on the page, and then he would just say, you know, play and see whatever we would do, just do it. And that was really fun. But especially having Bowen there and Bronwyn there, they're so funny. You're gonna fall in love with them.
So you two, I heard you got tattoos. I know that you love tattoos. I do too. But and I did. Y'all all got tattoos like a
Yes,
bunch,
we
right?
did. Yeah.
Yes.
We did.
We have both.
Where are they? What are they?
On our hands.
We have For Good on our hands.
Good.
Yes.
And they
Now that's
here
in
we
like
go.
we got them on opposite, so when we hold hands, they touch. It's so crazy.
It's ridiculous. We have our,
It's a
our
lot.
puppies.
We have
a
our
lot.
poppies.
Oh, I love the poppy scene.
We have
You have your broom under
my
here.
broom. This one.
Oh, broom
is
here, and then hat on there.
Girl,
hat
that
is
broom
there.
scene. Oh.
We have the heart. We always
Glinda
forget
here.
the heart on the back of our leg.
Yeah, we have a.
Did you get one after every day of shooting, or
Felt like it. We might as well have.
you're like, you know what I
Got quite
should
a
have
few.
done? Yes,
Yeah.
I'm like that. They're addictive. I tell my
Yes.
daughter sees me covered in them, and I tell her not till 18, and then I don't care what you do, because you know there's some on me that I'm like maybe I'll turn that into something else. Yeah,
But isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
yeah.
Stories.
It's little memories. Yeah.
We're both
And
tattoo
that.
obsessives.
Any tattoos, guys, from the movie?
We were just checking. I mean, not literally.
Checking. Oh, I love this day for Johnny. I love it. I love it so much for you.
Blank canvas.
Should we do a little tattoo
We're going
date,
to do a
the four of
competition
us?
to see. So everyone send in your designs, and Jeff is going to get it tattooed on his forehead.
on his forehead.
There was a threat one time that Jeff was going to get our faces tattooed on his chest.
Okay.
With
think
each
his
nipple
wife
as an
stepped
eye.
As an eye.
When I get a shot, is it anything like getting a
So
shot?
rock and roll
No.
down there.
Oh.
No, it's so much worse.
Okay, let's talk about, because this just went off the tracks. Let's talk about the costumes. Like, how long were you in, like, hair and makeup, getting all that? Because you're so cute. You had little freckles.
did, yeah.
You had a very different Elphaba, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was in hair and makeup for like, 3.
I loved your glasses, too. Yeah.
I think hair and makeup took anything from between 2 hours and 45 minutes to 4 hours, depending on how much green we were using. It was all practical. In order to make sure that the freckles stayed in the right place, we did like a vacuum form mask of my face. And they put little holes in the mask. So they would put the mask on like a stencil and airbrush the freckles on. So they would stay there.
That sounds like I'd be claustrophobic.
And before my wig went on, I always looked like a little green alien because my head was bald, and
It was so beautiful.
they would airbrush my head so that if the wig moved, if my hair would move to the side, and you could see my part, and my head was green because the scalp has to be green, obviously. Yeah.
That, you chose the short stick. Yeah, because y'all didn't have to do as much, right? Not as much transformation, right?
Oh no, we just showed up. No, I'm kidding.
I loved your Glinda. First of all, I can't say it without hearing the Linda. It's my favorite part. No, but I want to say too, like, how easy, like, was it to dance? Y'all were dancing, both of you, like, were dancing incredible in those outfits. Like, how hard was that?
Paul Taswell is the incredible costume designer, and he's much like so many people who are involved, has real experience in theatre.
Yeah.
And he did the costumes for Hamilton. So not only were they just sort of stunning to look at, they were, intensely practical.
Yeah.
But, going back to Cynthia and Ari as well, obviously we understand their talent, and that's undeniable. And I know you'll understand this as well, but it's the commitment of a year of their life to sustaining that performance. And Cynthia talking about being in the chair, I mean, she would have probably had about 5 hours at home every 24 hours, 6 hours?
Something like that, yeah.
And it was unbelievable to see. And that's the one thing that I think I took away from it, is the sheer technique. And you have to leave your life behind and immerse yourself so fully. And the performances, I think, are just so extraordinary when you know that as well. If they could get any better, but it's just to witness that and to support that, it was, a sort of once-in-a-lifetime thing to witness.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Thank you so much.
So Cynthia, I heard that you made some playlists for the film, right?
Yeah, so I made sort of 2 different playlists, and they would run concurrently because we were shooting both the first and second part together. I do it often for my characters, and I just wanted to do one for sort of Elphaba's personality and the things that she was going through, and it would sort of set me up for the day.
Yeah.
For what we were about to.
Like sets the tone for you emotionally.
Yeah.
Do y'all do that?
I did a little bit. I saw this. Nathan Crowley did the production design, and it's and in my cat, for my cat, he planted 9 million tulips, and it's really great stuff. My guy is not just a guy behind a curtain, but he's got a whole workroom that is incredible. It's a lot of wheels and gears, like Chaplin's Modern Times. It's like the beginning of the 20th century. And it occurred to me when I saw it, hey, I love that song that Brian Stokes Mitchell sings from Ragtime.
Wheels of a Dream.
Wheels of a Dream.
You too.
So I kind of had somebody play that for me before I did a couple of scenes. And
I was listening to Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she was defying gravity.
It was like random people, just different feelings.
Yeah. I love
It's like, it was quite angry, some of it. I do have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to listen to angry music if I'm working out because I don't want to.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I just have to get pumped.
Sometimes I need it to, like...
You can't play Enya. It's not happening. Yeah. So I have something in common with you that I love. It's so random.
Okay.
I love Legos. I got into them. I got into them because of my kids, right? And I was building them, and all of a sudden I was like getting like adult ones, and now my friends gifted to me. I'm literally putting together botanical conservatory, and now they said that you love Legos
I
and like
love
traps them.
Lego, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I've been constructing as we tour around the world.
On the plane.
Yeah, we were doing it yesterday.
Yeah.
Really?
I've been
I do
constructing
them
a globe.
everywhere as well. It's like meditation for me.
Totally. And like to put something into your to physicalize.
Tangible, yeah.
And it helps me sort of focus. But yeah, I love it. And,
Me too. I get home and it's been like a crazy chaos, and for some reason I figured out with my kids, I was like, this is highly I'm not good at meditating, but I'm really good at that, and it's kind of mine.
Totally.
But it's like so good for me.
It's so good. But one of my highlights of the press tour was meeting the Lego team who constructed life-size Elphaba and Galinda, and they spent 1,000 hours in construction, and the design, I mean, it's just, if
You walk into those stores, it's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And the engineering, I mean.
And I'm a sucker. I walk in, my kids, like, even if we go near it, they're like, if we could just get her in there, we'll get at least 4. Like, it's like, I'm such a sucker for it. But I just thought it was so random, because I do it literally as a meditative thing.
Yeah, me
for
too. Yeah.
All right. Well, Ariana, did you sing? I heard. Wait, what do you need? Do you need this?
No, I mean, we're
looking
just,
at
we noticed our, I think.
Yep. You have. You're like, wait, I'm missing something.
We missed them. It's good to see them.
No, I heard that y'all actually, this is incredible. You sang live as well, right? And the whole, that's like very difficult things to do, like especially with all the operatic stuff while you're like acting and playing, like, you're doing the comedic stuff and it's really high up there. And that must have been kind of, did you have a life? Or were you trying to be quiet the whole time? Like,
I mean, we're all singers here, so it's something we love to do. And this one was.
Sorry, that was me and Jeff looking at each other.
What happened? Oh my God, stop.
It's very generous of you.
No, but I mean, this one was corseted and flying around the room, singing the most perfect defying gravity I've ever heard in my entire life.
yes,
So we
I
were
was there.
to not mention that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But I'm saying all that high entire register stuff that you were doing, like as Glinda, especially in the Munchkin Land, like
Thank you.
I was like, is this live? Like that's incredible. Yeah.
No, but it was really important to us, A, because we love it, and B, because the emotional integrity of the content itself kind of demands it. You know, you're able to be spontaneous and follow your feelings and be honest, and also when the comedy is in the room, you know, improv and play and surprise her, try to make her laugh and break. And, you know, you can't really do that if there's a track. So you're kind of married to the one
limited,
performance.
yeah.
So, and also, sorry, I'm almost done, but we had to do it in solidarity with the women on Broadway who've done this 8 shows a week.
Yeah. You've heard us rave about it all hour long, and you will all get to experience it as well, because courtesy of our friends at IMAX, everyone in the audience is getting to see Wicked! Starting November 20th, 2 days ahead of the film's release. Let's hear it once more for Cynthia, Ariana, Jeff, and Jonathan.
You can see Wicked in theaters starting Friday, and check out the special Defying Gravity. The curtain rises on Wicked tonight on NBC and tomorrow on Peacock.